Internet, and welcome to Tales of Terragia. I am your Dungeon Master and Cosmic Tour Guide, Nick Celentano, and these are 6 toys that were alive just a second ago. Say hi, 6 toys that were alive just a second ago. Alright, well, I'm going to check something back here. Well, I guess it's going to be a solo game for me tonight.
No one's going to believe that that was all ad-libbed.
And yet it was.
That good.
Thanks so much for joining us, you guys. Real quick, do us a favor and go find Tales of Terragia at pretty much anything, and it's gonna be us. And like and follow and subscribe for more each and every week. Time, the second law pushed further into the Feywild, having reconciled with Basil's father, Time Flufflehops. He was able to open the Warren Road, a sort of like between the worlds way of travel for the Harengon, and was able to kind of get you through a tunnel, travel miles and miles and miles in just a couple of hours, crossing the Feywilds to a familiar sight to you, Basil. Well, maybe not as familiar as you would have liked, but the farm that you had been raised on turns out was not just a vegetable farm, but more of a people farm, or at least a Harengon farm as far as your family was concerned. But able to get here, you saw that the farm indeed has taken a turn for the worse. Dark orange skies with dark purple clouds and a 300-foot tall shadowy gardener figure stalking the grounds around the massive farmhouse in the middle of it all. On the hunt for anyone and anything that is hiding in and around this farmhouse. But luckily, you're able to kind of skirt his vision, get inside, and get into Skumella's abode. At the moment, you're in a massive, oversized living room, hiding beneath a coffee table. The entire room littered with just like nothing but junk. It is definitely a hoarder's dream house. Barbie's hoarder dream house is where you are right now. You decided to kind of, in order to move around this place a bit more freely, kind of disguise yourselves, taking up, at least in terms of Basil, Harmony, and Zakkai, 3 teacups, kind of cracked broken teacups to hide underneath, moving around in. Anara and Tem taking more kind of like the fabric method with a doily and kind of like torn bit of scarf that you kind of like using to hide yourself. And luckily, Nik-Nak, you're small enough to fit just in a thimble, kind of just able to put it over you. And I'll say that with a bit of extra fabric from Tem's kind of hiding disguise, you're able to sort of wrap the fabric around Sledgehog to the point where his little spines stick through it, so he just looks like a little pincushion.
Nice.
So he's able to come back.
Like a little tomato.
Yeah.
But this house is not as empty as you would have hoped. You did discover that there is somebody lurking in the same exact room directly above your heads on top of the very coffee table that you're hiding beneath, and front door just opened and a 100-foot plus tall creature has entered the building. Second law, what do you do?
Staying small.
Staying very still.
Yeah, very still.
And waiting for a movement from the entity above us.
Yeah, I guess
I
the
think,
plan,
I think we have
the
Slink
plan doesn't change.
on watch duty.
Yeah, so I'm going to periodically check in through Slink's senses, hoping that this entity will start moving at some point. But I don't think we want to go anywhere until they do, right?
Nope.
No.
Plan's
Yeah.
the same. We just follow
You stay.
Follow them.
whoever's
Hope
on
this thing
top
just
of the
walks
table.
past this room and then we just scurry around.
It was
afterwards.
heading into the
we keep
depth
to
of
our
the house
plan.
as far as we could tell.
Mhm.
It was moving. It wasn't coming into this room. It was heading.
No. It is a tense few moments as you kind of hear the like heavy footfalls of this creature kind of like through the walls. You can't quite see them, but you hear, just like any other house that kind of, especially a dilapidated one like this, creaks and kind of breathes all on its own, and it is just amplified, especially because you're so small or this house is just so big that every kind of like creak and whine that this house makes is very loud. You can hear it through the wall as this massive creature moves deeper into the house. Eventually the footsteps and the sound kind of like drift out a little bit. Once the footsteps start to fade, you do through Slink pick up slight movement above you as that figure starts moving now kind of like across the edge of the coffee table towards one of the ends, maybe about 30 feet to your left.
Toward the back door that we were headed toward, or a different one?
No, just kind of off to the side of the table. Not facing either door. Just kind of moving into the where like the right corner of the house is where you kind of came in underneath that window. He's moving into that side.
Just gonna stay still.
Remaining quiet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need stealth checks from everybody.
Okay. 19.
19.
6.
6.
23.
23.
12.
12.
Stay small.
13.
13.
That was the one
14.
rule.
Sorry, guys.
You stay still, kind of underneath that table, dead center of that coffee table. You have the pile of teacups, an oversized doily, large scrap of like fabric, kind of all piled in the center, and you're all huddled around them. About 35 feet away at the edge of the table, you see something drop from the top of the counter or top of the coffee table onto the ground. See, compared to you, about maybe like 6.5, almost 7 foot tall kind of figure, kind of like lumbering, stretches a little bit in like the low orange light that's kind of filtered into the window. You do see tall, dark tan skin, dark hair pulled back into a man bun, hulking massive arms covered in like tribal tattoos, kind of from wrist to shoulder. And he seems to like just land, looks around a little bit, and starts like walking, kind of like now turning towards like further back into the house. That door that you saw
The
towards
door
the
that
back
we
of the
were
room?
heading towards.
Yes, the door you were all kind of aiming towards that led further into the
Yeah.
house. He is making his
And
way
that's
that way.
also the direction that the figure that came inside went?
Same direction, just different room. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you're in,
So like
But
they went like in through the door and then back to the back of the
Mhm.
house. This is this way.
Yeah.
So
But it sounded like the figure stayed on this floor. We didn't hear it like anything come like sound going upstairs or anything
Didn't
anywhere.
sound like it.
Okay.
So I guess we need to start sneakily
Plan stays the
following
Yeah.
Kuvo
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
just in
yeah,
his direction.
I guess we should wait for them to get close to the door and then
same. Yeah, keep a pretty
Yeah.
healthy distance.
Also,
That's-
probably like as we're moving, we're probably not staying in the same clump because it might, to him, like a clump is following him. I would assume we would like go. Some of us would get like near a book, or some of us would, but
yeah.
in a scatter, a
Yeah.
loose scatter,
And not in the middle
formation.
of the like walkway.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So along the edge,
It's
still
Not just
along
those
the
teacups or
being
something. I
infiltrated.
can't get away from
Yeah, that was
that.
right here.
I swear I've seen this
That's
before.
fair.
Right.
That's fair. We also can't probably see each
We
other too
can't.
well, so we're all
Yeah,
probably
so-
being able to
Yeah.
see.
Well, periodically, I think.
Well, we
we
all
could,
picked things that have like peepholes.
Yeah.
That's
So
Yeah.
we're all like
So
kind
we
of
look through the right
slowly.
direction.
try not to all move at the same time. So
Mhm.
once one like the teacup moves and stops, then
Yeah,
we
kind of
look
sporadic.
around, and then Thimble goes.
Yeah.
What's Riz hiding under, by the way?
that is a great question.
That's right.
As someone who forgot he was there,
His own audacity.
Just
Yeah.
checking. He's just standing. What?
Yeah, not hiding at all, just chilling.
no, you see that he has run off and he has found like a small. It looks maybe like it once was a kind of like bent and broken on one side, almost like a little candle holder kind of thing
Mhm.
that he's able to kind of like tilt up and get into the hollow part underneath it. And there's like just a small bit like short candle holder to kind of like
Slides along. Yeah.
Well,
That's
actually,
good.
he notices that it slides, and then he taps it and casts levitate, so he can just like lift it with a finger. And then he
Wow.
walks,
That's
and then
smart.
lets it
There
go.
you go.
Okay.
Always
He's
showing
always
off that
been
levitate.
he's always been so smooth. It's really annoying.
Yeah, so I guess we'll
Yeah,
We'll
follow at
Slowly
at
get
a
chase.
bit of a distance.
Sneak behind.
Slowly get
Sneak.
I feel like it's like a
Sneak.
following along just as he's starting to kind of go out of sight, and we all kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to figure out what is his plan for getting through or past the big door. So
We
let's
don't
stay
know.
far enough back that we get a sense of what he's,
Yeah,
how he's getting out of the run.
yeah, we can't
Yeah.
get back too far.
You said he sounded confident enough, so
And I can always pick him up with Slink as long as he doesn't get more than 60 feet
Sure.
away. So
Yeah.
so even if we lose direct sight of him, we should be able to pick him up again.
You also notice that he's just kind of strolling through the place. He was still and quiet when the gardener entered the house. Now he's just kind of like
He's
just
just
strolling along.
Yeah,
He doesn't
because
he
he
looks
was
like he
talking to himself
doesn't
too,
care.
or
Mhm.
to whoever.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to mind.
So
he seems pretty confident in something. All right.
Well, let's see.
But you're kind of like trailing him and following him through. He does move further into the room towards that larger door in the back. As you kind of get closer, he does. You'll sense it before you kind of see it. You sense that he has stopped, kind of like around a corner of, a bunch of boxes of stuff that you stacked in one corner of the room. He stops maybe like 40, well, relatively to your size, 40 feet between like stack of boxes and that door. As you kind of get closer, you do at least see, even without going into it, it's a empty door frame. There's no like actual door
okay.
there,
So
so you
that's
can
not-
see into
okay.
the other room.
Yeah.
Now that you're closer to it, with this angle, you see that it clearly is a kitchen. There is a large kind of like countertop. You see a small like breakfast nook with a table there. Everything is absolutely stacked and loaded with stuff, and the floors have like large puddles, which looks like small lakes to you, of just spills, liquids, mysterious, who knows what.
great.
There is like a heavy smell of like, I don't know if it's not exactly burning food, but if you have ever tried to cook with spoiled food, that's what it smells like.
Oh.
A heavy like odor of that kind of like wafting out of the kitchen.
Delicious.
But you see that through Slink's eyes, you do kind of sense that Kubo has stopped and is kind of like peering into the kitchen, sort of like he seems to be waiting for an opportunity.
the kitchen. I remember this place. Just a
Does
little
it
bit,
look as
but-
if he's waiting for an opportunity, as in that there's something in there and he's looking like for a chance to run past it, or
With
is it not really possible to tell?
with the vagueness of Slink's senses, you can't quite tell. All you know is that he has stopped and it seems to be
In the
waiting
doorway.
and is moving slightly back and forth a little bit.
Guess we just wait.
I mean, I guess, are we able to make any insight checks from our position at all, or no? Just see like if he's in like preparation to make a move, or just thinking of something, or
I'll say if you want to, you'll have to move closer to get in like a line of sight with him and able to do another perception check. But you can tell me if you
See
want to
Book's
get
face.
close enough to physically see him.
Do we hear the other footsteps walking around, like nearby?
No.
Maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe there's some sort of magical trap or something that he's waiting for. Or
Well, maybe we can
Risk
keep
getting closer, or
if we keep a safe distance when we get to the door, we might be able to figure out what he's waiting for and time it ourselves, and then catch up to him.
Yeah, it might be useful to get a visual on the kitchen better too, to see.
I can send Slink up a bit closer.
Yeah, all reliable.
is
Sure.
there
take it away.
is there some sort of like higher, like a stack of something or whatever, like a higher vantage point that's like
Stack of dishes.
kind of near Kuvo? Is he on the ground? He's standing on the floor.
Yeah, he's on the ground.
Is there like a stack of something that someone could get on top of that is like high enough that they would be not noticeable to him, but also they could kind of get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll say immediately around him, sort of between you and him, is a large stack of like boxes. You're not quite sure what's inside of them. that sort of separates you between you and Kuvo. Across from him, maybe opposite of the door that he's looking into, there is like a stack of like old dirty plates and dishes and stuff that kind of like tower up. There's also slightly further behind, but still within like eyesight of him, there is another like pile what looks to be like old like maybe toy or doll parts that have all been taken and yanked apart and sort of just tossed in a big kind of clutter in one area. So if you want to, one of you could try to like pick one of those, maybe get a view there. Up to you.
I'll try taking a view.
Why don't we just have Riz float up high enough to try and get a glimpse of what he's looking at? Or what he's waiting for?
Do you want me to take a peek?
Yeah, and maybe just kind of stay a little bit behind that like stack of dishes so you're mostly hidden, and see if you can kind of look over top of those.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. It'll be fine. He kind of like just nods, slides the candle holder that he was kind of underneath, pushes it away. He's gonna make a stealth check. Oh, that's pretty good. For Riz, stealth +3. Okay, 17. That's pretty good. And you see kind of him like run behind this like mountain of just old plates and bowls and forks and spoons and stuff kind of on it. You like wait for a few like 10 seconds before you see just a bit of him like kind of pop up on the top of it, clearly having scaled all this incredibly fast, probably because he just floated up there. And he's like, you see that he's looking down, and he kind of like signals over to you.
He's looking at a strong door.
Wait a second.
He's looking at
Two
He's
words.
very strong.
2 words. Movie.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Riz kind of like just, and then just like taps the side of his head and casts message because I forgot. He cast message to you. He's looking into the kitchen. Seems kind of like he's like waiting for something, and he seems to be going back and forth between 2 different things. And he's looking one way, and then he looks the other way, and he looks right back to the other way. So he's like looking back and forth between something. That's what I see.
I can't answer, can I?
You can. You can
Oh, okay.
Respond. You can respond to this message.
Classic.
Okay, I mean, but you don't see anything moving? Maybe it's like something magic that he's waiting for, or...
So he's looking at that clock?
I don't see anything.
All right. Is there another door into that room? Maybe we can go around a different direction.
I mean, I can only see into this room, and I just am looking into a corner of the kitchen. So I see a table, breakfast nook, a couple chairs. There's a window, broken window, dusty drapes.
All right. Well, I guess...
The wainscoting's pretty nice.
Well,
It's in pretty good shape compared to the rest of the house.
make a mental note of it. Maybe just, okay, well, just come back and get under your candlestick.
Right, got it.
And I guess I'll just kind of like lift the cup and just to everyone be like... Just wait.
We just wait. Okay. Okay.
Wait for him to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, you
He-
you see the handkerchief like
All the items
shrug.
just go.
Yeah.
Does Tim just look like a classic ghost?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just
It's kind of like that. I think that he is artfully crumpling it, like using his trunk to kind of make, like if you drop like something on a piece of fabric on the floor, how it kind of like
Yeah,
folds
it's
in on
wrinkles,
itself.
natural wrinkles.
It's trying to mimic the natural creases of what a crumpled scarf or handkerchief would look like. But then when when it does like catch on his ears or something, it is very much like elephant ghost under a sheet.
The ears sort of twitches every now and then.
Yeah. It flaps.
but you're all just gonna hang tight and wait.
I guess so,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think so.
Wait for him to do something.
How far away is the pile of like doll parts?
It's let's see, it's a good like 40 feet from you.
Is that a spot where we can get a better view from?
If you move to the pile of doll parts, you'll be able to get a better. You'll be able to get direct line of sight of Kuvo, and you'll get similar to Riz, a sort of catty corner look into the kitchen where you'll look into that same like angle.
The
where
same direction that Riz was looking at.
Yes, just like slightly less extreme.
Is there a way to navigate, I guess, to a spot behind him to see exactly what he's looking at? Because I guess we don't have that perspective yet, right?
I don't think so.
No, not quite yet, but you can get there, and but it will require a check to climb up all those dishes. He got up there because he can fly. Or levitate.
That sounds risky.
I think we just sit tight.
Let him
Let him
take the
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah.
Make the
Let's-
Waiting
mistake.
for something.
Yeah.
Let's sit tight and just wait and see if
We
we
get
get
closer,
something.
we might get seen.
He knew way more about this place when he was coming in, so let's wait and see what he does.
Agreed.
I'm assuming you kind of jump into Sling to check on him every once in a while, or are you
Yeah.
getting into like an actual physical? You can see him, his vantage point.
No, not
No?
getting. Gonna rely on Slink.
Great.
To maintain a check on his position.
Every few moments, you kind of like pop in just to make sure that he's there. Each time you do, he's there and kind of doing the same thing. Remain still. He's clearly like hiding and gauging his like opportunity to enter the room somehow. Because you do see a lot of him kind of like crouching, standing, kind of on his tiptoes now to see something. He'll crouch over this way. So you just kind of see vague him doing investigative kind of movements. But for a while, it's almost a good like 15 minutes you're waiting before he's waiting at the door. It seems he is also waiting.
Sometimes this reconnaissance is really boring.
Yeah,
Why
so bored.
why isn't he doing
bored.
anything? Why isn't he doing anything? Maybe we should just attack him. I'm so
I
bored.
want to do.
Yes, Nik-Nak.
Someone.
I am going
I'm
Let's try to see what he's
Nik-Nak's
looking at.
getting a little
I think
impatient.
10, 15 minutes is a long time. So I think after like maybe 5 or 6 minutes, I think I want to make a move toward the doll pile, the pile of doll parts.
If I see the handkerchief
Yes.
or whatever
the
making a
doily
move,
is
I'm going to
Follow that
cast
doily.
The ghost of
Mage
Anara
Hand
passed.
Mhm.
and try to push over something just to make noise and movement to either startle him, get him out of whatever he's doing, and also give Anara time to get where she's going, but opposite of where the handkerchief is going.
Okay.
Mm.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Is that how we know?
Now one.
Oh my
Thank you. So
Something's gonna
15
happen.
minutes of
Something's
Nik-Nak
gonna happen,
hyping
guys.
himself up, and he's
I don't
like,
think I could even
Yeah. Perfect.
it's about 5 minutes of waiting before you hear like
50
a.
minutes is way too long.
Yeah, that is a long
I'll
time
do
to wait.
something.
It's about 5 minutes of waiting before the doily huffs and starts to move closer towards the stack of like doll pieces.
I'm changing my disguise.
There's a
Be a
faint
big
little
doll's head.
there's a faint little like kind of crackle pop of magic
I
from
can look
beneath
through
the
the eye.
thing.
That's true.
Nik-Nak, you kind of like the mage hand like appears and grabs onto basically like a scrap of napkin or something that's like
Just
underneath one of
bring
the
your whole
bowls on this
pile.
this massive pile, and trying to like do the whole yank of the sheet with keeping everything on the table. The mage hand pulls it.
The whole thing
That
comes-
entire
Yeah,
tower of dishes, like an avalanche of porcelain, just starts sliding down.
Oh yeah.
This is actually great cover for the teacup people.
Yeah.
This is happening in our room or in the kitchen?
In your room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sort of right there in front of the,
Just-
maybe like 20, 30 feet from the door.
Between him and us, and now he's looking at us as the dishes are
And I'll
falling.
definitely use the sound of this as a
pop my head under a low attempt. I don't know.
as fast as possible the rest of the way to the.
You've seen the ghost like covering his ears and
Right.
slash.
I want to find like a head of a doll.
Oh yeah, easy enough.
And I want to pop in.
Look out one of the eyes.
Yeah, one of the eyes is missing, so you can literally
Terrifying.
the other one is still like,
Yeah.
like droopy, like
When the dog's looking lifted up
I
or
hate it.
moving, and the eye goes up and down. Yeah.
Yes.
all the hair's been pulled out. It's just little like spurts of like little.
Cynthia from Rugrats.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Cynthia
Now,
from
feel much
Rugrats
better now.
wishes. she
Wishes
was
she
there.
had that.
That's horrifying as this
Yeah,
all
yeah.
But as this massive like avalanche like of porcelain does come down, you do hear, and at least you do.
Do I have line of sight on Kubo now?
By the time you get to the dolls, yes.
Okay.
You're there, and you kind of like get inside one of the dolls'
Sneak
heads.
inside as quickly as possible and hide.
You do see that there's a mountain of stuff falling, so he immediately kind of like turns and looks.
Kind of worked. Is there a way to like blend
Right.
in with the avalanche at all, just to like get a better spot to like and just fall with it all as we're like
Have the
teacup sort of thing?
teacup roll.
Yeah.
Just look crushed.
Yeah.
The three of you give me deception checks with advantage.
Teacup deception.
Teacup deception.
It's like red light, green light.
Yeah.
You said deception?
Time for high tea.
21.
21.
21.
You 15.
15. The like, I mean, it's so long as you sort of like commit and just throw yourself kind of like onto the pile. It is a bit of a rough ride for a few seconds as you're kind of it's throwing yourself onto an avalanche. So it does at some point kind of come over you.
Trying to like
and do
slide
it.
It's like
Yeah.
surfing your landslide.
Yeah.
It's sort of like it tumbles down. But the three of you kind of like at least blend in fairly well with this like avalanche of dishes and whatnot. You do see that
Yeah, easy for a second.
Kubo does like turn towards the kind of avalanche of stuff. He freezes for a moment, and you all hear
Yeah.
large footsteps as
Forgot about that guy.
inside.
It worked for us. 'cause
Clearly,
it's him.
clearly they don't like cleaning,
Yeah.
so
Get that guy.
just
Get
stay
Kubo.
still.
He made the mess.
Yeah.
the
What is Kubo's reaction to hearing the big thing?
Whoops.
coming?
it's he kind of like just glances at it. He does like kind of freeze and does kind of one of these where he like stops. He looks over towards the kitchen door. Inside of the kitchen wasn't like, complete pitch black, but it was dark inside. But you do see two large spotlights kind of move over to this side of the room, or at least that side of the kitchen, right on the other side of the door, kind of inspecting the wall, and then kind of turning towards like the door. It streams in, and you hear as the large footsteps are crossing the kitchen, coming towards that door. Kubo immediately kind of like starts running towards where you all are.
You said there
For
was.
cover.
You said there was a.
I'm staying
Wait,
dead still inside the house.
did you
Yeah,
say
same.
that there was like a window or something in the kitchen?
Yes.
Can I use thaumaturgy to
Tem just
make the
shablams
sound
and
of a
it's just
window
like-
breaking from that direction?
Does thaumaturgy have a range?
It's 30 feet, but as long as it's coming from behind the creature, I'm hoping that that's
Oh, okay, I got you.
doesn't have to be coming from the window as long as it's like from behind it.
That's fair. It's a chaotic few moments where y'all just kind of like where this.
Is he heading
Yeah,
toward
after a
the bell
long
pile, or
lot of
is he
nothing,
heading
and
to
then
the
all at
bell
once.
pile?
Yeah.
So his teacups.
Thank God.
It's literally everything everywhere.
But you do see the like large two like spotlight eyes, kind of like the doorway like into the living room starts to like the line of
Light
light
up.
gets longer and longer. Then there's you all hear a sudden like, crash of window breaking before the lights kind of retreat and go back into the room.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't think we have a good
The
plan.
three of you now start to hear the faint sound like of footsteps on broken porcelain as Kubo now starts to move over towards this fallen bunch of plates, also looking for cover. And he's moving pieces up to find something to hide beneath. And you see that he sees a couple of teacups and he kind of looks around and heads for them.
I'm holding the
Is there anything I can do?
the staff of
Is
the
he-
old forest and If he lifts up my teacup, I'm gonna cast contagion on him.
I'll do something too.
Yeah, if you can each prep something, you know that he's coming.
Just to be clear.
But we're not the only
the
teacups
big,
No.
sitting
the
around.
big lights now did get distracted back into the kitchen.
Yes.
So they're not looking out where Kubo's headed. They're heading.
No.
As far as we know, the breaking window sound was successful.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
At the very least, it seems the gardener is their sight has been drawn elsewhere.
drawn away.
Underneath Zakkai's teacup, he's gonna pick up some of the earth and dust around him and create a dust cloud in the teacup, so that if mine is opened, I'll already be kind of like obscured, and then I can maybe sneak out or attack or whatever. So I'm just gonna kind of contain myself in a little
All right.
dust cloud.
Basil, you prepping anything
I would like to.
other than just
Giant sword.
I would
From a
wish for
spike
his bad luck, and I'm going to hex his charisma.
All right. If he comes, if that's your holding, or are you trying to do that now?
Yes.
If I have,
Huh?
if I'm able to see him and do it, but I guess if he's close by, then I
So that is
would
always
do
useful.
something else. I guess that makes sense.
I mean, all you know is that
It's
you're underneath
take a
the
look at
teacup.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
I don't.
there's
I
not
won't
really
know.
anything.
Okay.
Like,
I mean,
mending.
you can, like,
I
that's
fix
probably
one by
not
one
what it is,
every
like,
single
maybe
teacup.
Maybe.
No,
I think he's pretty strong
if I
over
feel
it.
something coming
Yeah.
by, I'm gonna
He's-
prep
yeah.
invisibility from the
Remember
new
we had
ring
vision
of
tools,
Fey
so he's-
ability.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Tried to stunning strike him in the basement, and he was immune to things.
Right.
Just remembered that. I learned that in the last fight.
And didn't I try and
Oh,
use
start with
hold person
He's immune to
on
Yeah,
so it's
him,
not
and
it
it
can't
didn't
still
work.
work, but
Yeah.
he's immune to the condition.
I've altered that. I'm prepping
I just remembered that I
invisibility.
tried to
in case
Okay.
something
stun
up.
him because I was trying to
The
prevent him go through the
Fey
wall,
ring.
through the portal.
Quick question, Nik-Nak and Tem, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. You're right. You're
You've
right.
done quite enough already.
I think that
How
'Cause
far away is he
yeah,
from me?
yeah. So he's moving towards the crashed teacup pile, right? Where are we in
Right.
relation to that?
Imagine if there was the.
I couldn't have been very far away because my mage hand can't move that far.
No, if you sort of imagined it as like a street intersection. Like forward is the door into the kitchen. To the right here would be the wall, and between the right next to the wall is the stack of boxes that you were behind. He was between the wall and the boxes, looking into the kitchen. Across from the boxes is that tower of teacups that
Okay.
slid over,
So
and
he's-
sort of like opposite of the boxes is the pile of doll heads that Anara is.
So the direction he's moving, we will be kind of behind him now.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Like diagonally behind him. Yeah. Okay. Then I think Tem would probably, after he passes by out of the way, the second, if he does seem to lift up one of the teacups that has one of our three companions in it, the second that happens, I think Tem would. I mean, there's not too much I could do. I could. I'll try and ready a spell at him. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do just yet. But basically, if I see him and there's a reveal of one of our companions, just go into action mode. Yeah.
Nik-Nak, anything?
I don't really know.
If he pulls if he brings up a teapot or a tea, I can't speak, teacup. I'm scared. If he does one of
Which
those,
teacups they're under?
You know which one they are.
Yeah,
Okay.
the patterns of their
So we
teacups.
work
Yeah.
forward by
You know,
deception.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
know which teacups.
Okay.
Yes.
yeah,
You
I-
remember which pattern?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if he does,
Sitting duck.
I'm going to take out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take out anyway. My spring trap bear traps.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
I will, like, just get rid of the thimble and jettison at him if he's going for one of my companions.
You're holding it if he goes, or are you just doing it? I just want to make sure I have the right order. Of
If he
events.
overturns a cup.
If he overturns a cup and makes any kind of move, then yes, like
Okay.
aggressive move.
Is he like kind of
But I'm
running,
on like pins
running
and
towards
needles.
us?
You know what I
But you're
mean?
not
So,
doing
yeah.
it.
He's doing that
before
sort of
he
like kind of
pulls a
like
cup.
No.
stealth
yeah.
run.
I
He is
think that's what
moving
he
No,
fast.
because I would just
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
clearly trying to like be quiet.
Scurry.
Right.
Can I switch it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Because Dizzy, I don't need to see him. I just need to be aware of him.
Mhm.
So without waiting to see if he maybe picks one of our cups or whatever, just when he starts kind of running this direction, I'm gonna cast Dizzy on him.
All right.
And it's an
See if he
intelligence save
Knock him down.
15.
Will he know that you?
It doesn't say one way or the other. He takes psychic damage.
So he'll know something is going on.
But he
Yeah.
also was looking at travel, you know,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
He also won't know where it came from if he,
Right.
even if he does know something's going on.
That would be a 17.
Then I guess nothing happened.
Keeps like kind of moving towards that
Just
group
hold
there.
the staff then.
I'm going to see which teacup he lifts up.
Well, how many other random empty ones are there, you know?
I mean, it was a
17
pile, it was a
other
massive pile of
ones.
stuff. So your odds are pretty good.
Okay.
But not 0.
Not
Just holding my staff.
actually,
And I'm just
I gotta
spending.
make a different
End
roll
up in
real
an empty
quick.
one next to us.
Yeah. And then we all have to stalemate it. Yeah.
Yeah. The war of attrition.
I'll say that the three of you being the closest ones, kind of like through like the little like sliver of like space between like the teacup and the bottom of it, or through the crack or whatever have you, you do see like his feet kind of moving closer to you. A few feet before he stops at your cup, Zakkai, he stops maybe 10 feet away. You see his feet kind of like grind to a halt a little bit, and then kind of like he takes a more relaxed stance as he kind of just like chuckles a little bit. Hey, company! Now it's a party. As he sees Riz, who rolled a 6. Who was right behind this. So basically, this massive pile of like porcelain and
Oh, he was just
stuff,
standing behind
and he was
it.
just floating behind.
Floating in the middle of
So he's literally there, just like
God damn it.
That's so funny.
as
Shit,
like Google
alright,
kind of like
well,
looks up
fuck.
at him. Hey, now it's a party. Riz like gently kind of lands. Hey, you.
Fuck.
What's up? And Kubo kind of like relaxing. He doesn't move. He's still maybe
Yeah.
a good 10 feet from you,
Mm.
maybe 15 from Harmony, good like 10, 15 from you two as you're all
Which is
kind of like in
vaguely
that area.
unseelie aligned, so I kind of want to see where this goes.
Listen, I'd really appreciate it if you kept it quiet. And he kind of like gestures to like the massive like amount of like broken dishes and glasses and stuff kind of all around him. And Riz just kind of, oh yeah, sorry about that. It won't happen again. He's gonna make a deception check.
Can I'm just gonna like touch that, just a tiny little flick to the edge of my teacup and give him inspiration.
All right.
God damn it. And I think on a skill
Is it
check, you can advantage, basically, you can roll it again and pick one.
5. His deception.
Well, he should be a charisma guy.
With the Bardic Inspiration, he did roll a 2.
Ooh.
But with Bardic Inspiration and his Deception skill, it's a 15.
Okay.
Well, that's suspicious.
Studied more.
Kubo just like nods a little bit and just kind of like shh and waves like Riz over. Riz just sort of like stands there and he You all see from your vantage point that he is looking
He's like,
at
"Where
all
am
of
I?"
you, sort of like, what do I do? But he just stands still.
We're just leaving him. Oh my god.
And Cool's like, well, come on.
What can we do? We
What do you guys do?
go?
He's your friend.
I just is Kuvo now facing away from me?
No, he's almost kind of like this, where Zakkai is directly in front of him, maybe 10 feet. You are 15 feet from him, sort of like slightly off to the side. So you're not directly in his like line of sight, but he could turn his head and probably see you. Should you reveal yourself?
Am I on a far enough? Am I out of his field of view in the head?
Yeah, you're almost not directly behind him, but like in this kind of sense,
Okay.
where he's looking at Riz, and
Yeah.
you're in the pile of dolls. Kind of
So
off to the
he's
side.
come back away from the door a little bit.
Mhm.
So could I like move diagonally in the head towards the door and lift the head up?
In the head.
I was like, are you rolling it or lifting it and
I'm lifting
walking?
it
Yeah,
up.
okay.
Yeah, as soon as I get the
Hamster
senses
wheel.
moving
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
I just go
Yeah.
down again.
Yeah, roll a stealth check for me.
I just want to get behind him. That's 17.
17.
So the idea is to be like, so I'm completely out of his line of sight, so I can, if it goes bad. I
You're
can
kinda
back
like-
behind.
Lift the head up, and just two little legs underneath this big doll head kind of moves across. You all see, again, Kubo's kind of like beckoning Riz over. Then he straightens up, looks at Riz. 1 second. Turns around, raises his hand, and just out of thin air, a spear of blood kind of materializes and hardens. And he launches it on the inside of the doll head. A spearhead kind of pierces right through it. His passive perception is higher than your roll.
Oh.
Wait, what was your roll?
It was 17. No, yes, 17.
So it doesn't hit you, but a spearhead just pierces the doll head.
I'll just like
and
allow the spearhead to like carry on moving the thing and just curl up inside the head
And kinda roll
just,
with
like,
it?
Roll with it.
and then try and stay hidden.
play possum. I like you stay there for a moment before you hear, I know you're in there. You can come out.
I'm not moving.
You can tell your friend to come out. He says to Riz, who again does not say anything. Riz is just there like,
Just no one move. Where's the creature? What's the creature doing? What the gardener?
you've yet to see them. You just saw their eye kind of like spotlights move towards like the door. When you cast the thaumaturgy, the lights went back into the kitchen. You have yet to see.
But they
the
were
creature.
inside, right?
They're in the kitchen.
Oh,
They
okay.
went back into the kitchen room. Yeah.
They never left the kitchen. You just saw the lights.
They
kind of-
peeked into this room and then turned back around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their vision was directed towards the door, so you didn't see them, but the spotlights kind of carried over, and they have since looked away, and they've yet to look back.
So is now his line of sight at Anara?
I'm assuming he's looking over at the head.
Yeah.
I'm pretending I'm not there.
You said he's like 15 feet from me.
Mm-hmm.
From within,
Baby alive
from
is
within
no
my,
longer
from
alive,
within
yeah.
my, and Riz is still kind of like
I'm not here.
on the side of the door frame.
He's on your side of the door frame. Just
You tried that
basically
already.
what's-
I already tried.
If the door frame is here,
Yeah.
there's the fallen kind of like stack
Yeah.
of porcelain.
Totally.
He's here, you three are here, and Riz is out back here.
Yeah.
Just
And the
behind
creature
us.
is like
Back on
here,
Nara one's at the
looking
thing,
a different
and
way.
they
And
recycle.
is-
It's like the shenanigans.
Is Kuvo visible within the door frame from the kitchen? Like, is he in the space? Like, you know what I mean?
Not like directly in front of it, but if someone were in the door frame, they'd be able to see him.
From within my teacup, I'm gonna cast Dazzling Barrage and just make a big
Nice.
it's like the teacups crashing all over again sound, and he's close enough, so Kuva will also need to make a wisdom save to potentially be blind, and it makes a big crashing noise.
Oh my god.
I gotta stop him.
The intention is to get the lights to come back looking towards this direction towards him to make him run away.
Scattered.
First we don't want his attention. Now we want his attention. Now we don't want his attention. Now we want his attention.
14.
Oh, he failed. So he's blind.
Alright.
Great.
Probably get that
Unless he has
and
true sight.
run.
Yeah.
He also automatically loses concentration on any spell or effect he's concentrating on.
Oh.
And cannot take reactions until the end of his next turn.
Wasn't holding any concentration or anything, but he does like suddenly go, wait a sec. just pauses and holds his hand. Hold on. As soon as he says hold on, Riz starts running.
Yep.
And I will bolt out of the head and head back to the pile of dolls.
Alright.
Undercover and try and hide it.
I'm gonna I'm gonna slide under my teacup away as far as away from him and like away from the view of the door frame.
Yeah, so I'm
potentially.
doing
So, like,
another
to the side, I
stealthy,
guess.
fast run back to cover away from where the spear was.
Because we have like 10 seconds ish or something of him being
Two
blind.
stealth checks with advantage because he is blinded.
Did the lights turn back towards us?
Oh my god. Oh, we'll get there.
Okay, go go.
I'm gonna use my last knowledge of the past life. That's a dirty 20 this time.
22.
22. Nice.
This one's good.
You know what? He's just gonna use that. You all kind of, or the few of you that can see him, Riz, as soon as Kubo is blinded, Riz takes off running, and he gets about like 25, 30 feet before he misty steps. He clearly has gone somewhere else, but you do not see Riz.
Riz has, or,
Yes.
or Kubo did?
Riz.
Good boy.
Okay.
Good.
He ran before his form just kind of vanishes in a little cloud.
Excellent. Good job, Riz. Did he see us this time?
No. But he does kind of like hold there for a moment. How long does the blindness last?
His
Or blindness
end of
last?
his next turn. So
Okay.
12.
So a few
12
seconds later, he
seconds.
kind of like shakes his head.
Like, I'm back in the pile of dolls now.
Do we
What the
hear
hell is
any
this?
movement coming from the kitchen over back here?
He is looking around and kind of like holds up his hand, ready to kind of like holler after Riz before he stops himself, hearing when the lights kind of return to the doorway. He kind of like looks towards the doorway, and he kind of quickly looks around for a place to hide and sees 3 teacups. Okay.
that are
Here
further
we go.
away from him now.
No, they're further away from him. One is further away from him.
One is behind the other two.
Can I see the figure?
One is a
up to the
lot
door?
less convenient to get to.
You don't see like the figure itself yet. You just see the lights kind of
Yeah.
shining in the direction of the door. And it's approaching. You can hear.
All a whole lot of preamble.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
going to be
yeah.
fighting soon. I
Yeah.
think can't do anything about it. Can't get away.
I think I would like to try to use the trap.
Nik-Nak's gonna just
Oh my
fuck
God.
this shit.
We're just trying to.
The
Like,
handkerchief is scooting away
Yeah.
from the thimble. Yeah.
So this is what Nik-Nak would like to do. He's going to throw the thimble off and activate the trap in the hopes that it works. And as it's going through the air, he doesn't care whether it hits him or not. He's going to hope it does, but he's also going to run and try and break any line of sight that could be created by the approaching figure, so that the only thing that could be seen would be him.
Okay.
mm-hmm.
I got you.
Come to the dolls.
So
The dolls.
The dolls.
All right.
Someone mentioned the dolls.
Is that a check on his part? I think
and
it's
he's
a-
probably going to be fine because it's
I think it's a deck save, isn't it?
no, it's a strength.
It's a
straight
Oh.
You know. Wait, I actually have to make an attack roll. Fuck, I didn't read this enough.
Attack roll.
Because first you gotta hit him with the.
Yeah, I
trap,
gotta hit
and
him
then
with
he-
the first.
Then he's gotta get stuck in.
Gotta aim at it.
Right.
I think what Tem would like to do is, because if we're like kind of in the same area, seeing like catching Nik-Nak's eye through the thimble or whatever.
You probably hear like a.
Yeah. I'll cast bless and I'll
I'll bless.
Whatever you're doing in there.
Let's see. I can do up to 3 creatures within 30 feet. I don't know how far
Do
away.
you have to see them?
It says.
3 creatures you're aware of.
Yeah, it says of your choice within range.
You do
Oh,
not,
okay,
yeah,
you do
yeah.
not to be able to see for this.
So Nik-Nak, how far away is Anara from me now?
Probably more than 30 feet, I would think.
Yeah, she's probably like 40, 50 feet from you.
Okay, Nik-Nak, myself, and Sledgehog.
There you go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Strong.
All right, you're blessed. Nik-Nak, what's your attack roll?
With the D with the
I would
D6.
love that.
It's a D. You add a D4.
Right.
Be realistic.
Wishful thinking.
Unfortunately.
That is a nat 20.
Plus a 4 on the D4.
Hey! Wow.
Maximum roll.
God.
Out of the shadow behind this box, a little like just bear trap, already terrifying if you just see it sitting there stationary. It just launches out of the shadows towards him and snaps down on him.
So
Roll damage.
yeah, I guess
sharp
that would be a
trap.
crit, right? So
Yes, it will be a crit. So you can
Hell
roll double the damage and you can re-roll any of the dice
all right,
once.
I will do that. Right. Should I reroll that?
It's a D8.
Yeah.
But you can choose from the reroll whether. Yeah, so why not reroll it, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. It's 10 piercing damage.
All right.
And the trap's chain then latches itself to the ground, grappling the target. The grappled creature may attempt a strength saving throw.
Of
Not very high.
a lot of things happening real fast.
Yeah.
As the three of you kind of like, I'm not even sure what's the temperament under the cups.
Sounds like chaos
Yeah,
outside.
I'm just hearing like.
Meanwhile, as it's midair, Nik-Nak is like just running for cover.
I'm just watching
Wait,
from the crack.
The dolls, or are you going for the teacups?
Whichever is the most effective. The thing that I don't want to be caught by is the large thing.
The lights, yeah.
So whichever will break that line of sight.
Yeah, and I think that.
And then whatever can dive under, I'm gonna dive under.
Yeah, like Tem like rolls up into a ball and like wraps his thing around him, like with Sledgehog tries to be like, okay, we're both two pincushions here now. And just,
I was gonna say, are you leaving Sledgehog with Tem, or is he following you?
No, he would be following me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sledgehog stays with you, Tem.
Okay.
No, he would be following.
Oh, he would.
Oh, he
be.
would be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Alright.
mine.
You go to like curl up and be like, it's just you and me, Sledge, and you look and he's gone.
Alright. But I'm gonna just like make it look like it's a fully crumpled piece of fabric, you know.
Sledgehog fully goes into this little sphere form and is rolling as fast as he can after you. Those lights get towards the door and are getting brighter and brighter as they're coming over. First, I'm gonna have perception check real fast.
Please, no one do anything to his strength.
You're just kind of like running, Nik-Nak, and you just see that like pile of like dolls like ahead of you, getting closer and closer and closer. Behind you, over your shoulder, you hear, "I see you," and something comes running through the air at you. Does a 28 hit?
Rude to ask. Yeah.
Just curious.
So he throws something at you as a bear trap is coming at you.
He's in the bear trap. He's kind of locked there. But he kind of
Just
summons
doesn't care.
another spear of blood.
Did he
Lost
succeed
it.
at his strength roll?
Right, yeah.
He hasn't tried yet.
Oh?
He doesn't care.
He's
I
just
don't think.
letting it hold
Yeah.
him right now?
Yeah.
Right now?
He's just standing
his
still.
disadvantage on the attack roll.
I don't think he gives him any disadvantage on it.
He's grappled technically,
Oh,
unless
he's
he
grappled.
unless he tries to
Yeah.
break free.
So unless he tries to break free,
Is grapple just like movement is 0?
Yeah,
I
that's
think
all.
so.
That's
Yeah.
what grapple
He can
does.
still
Yeah.
attack.
That is
Oi.
16 points of slashing damage. Nik-Nak, you're also knocked prone and restrained as the spear, like the spear stabs
I got
you,
pulled
you
by it.
fall, and the
Yeah.
bloody spear grows
Yeah.
two new like
I got-
spires and kind of pitchforks and
I
sticks
got
into the ground.
trapped
You,
by
that
this
happened to
thing.
you?
That
I
happened
didn't
to me.
remember.
I didn't remember either. I would have saved
Basement.
barbs.
Yeah.
Am I like in the
But I think
open?
he's attacked.
Oh, I'm in the open.
And those the lights
Oh,
are like
shit.
coming, shine through the door and kind of
I
like.
cast darkness on Nik-Nak.
All right.
And at the same time, Zakkai is going to use like monolith or something.
But hopefully he sees a blob of dark. I don't know.
to like shoot my teacup up and then at the vampire Kubo.
Kubo?
Yeah.
Now you have me say.
I know.
Oh my god. Okay, we're fighting. Yes, we're fighting.
No,
Or
no,
not.
that's fine. We're not fighting. Who's fighting?
Roll an attack roll as if you would with Monolith is an attack
I'm
roll?
restrained.
Monolith.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Strangle
crumpled up
prone.
handkerchief. I don't know what you people are
I'm
doing.
a little teacup.
Yeah.
Restrained and prone.
16.
16.
Never
He is grappled. You roll with advantage.
Oh.
Wait, does grapple give you advantage on?
I think
that's
His
restrained.
strict speed is 0.
I think that's
It's
the only
just
thing
his
grapple
speed
does.
is 0.
Yep, that's right. That's all it does.
Okay.
You like launch like the teacup at him, and he kind of like looks over. It fully collides with him and just shatters as if you threw a teacup at a wall. He's just standing there, and he just breaks across him, and he looks down, and then over at you, sees you, kind of holds out his arms like, "Hey, welcome to the party."
And I book it.
You like wave and start running.
Yeah.
He kind of was like, "No one wants to stick around," as you reach down and like wraps his hand around the chain of the trap and tries to yank it free. He's got a strength check.
As I start to run away, I'm gonna like pull the dust cloud that was around me, and I'm gonna do my armor of sand.
Oh, okay, perfect. The all like the dust suddenly kind of collides and builds up on your body. The strength check was 22. He just like yanks it right out of the ground. He keeps like the trap is still like attached to him. He's just holding the chain now. But he's kind of like
Screaming from the darkness. You can't see.
Kuo does like a quick survey, like looks at like the overturned like doll head, looks over at like now a bubbling like massive darkness, and then over at you, he sees like running away, kind of like huffs a little bit and turns around towards the door as like from around like the door frame, this massive like just silhouette of a creature kind of like leans in, his two like white eyes kind of filling this room with like the spotlights, and the lights kind of like fall on Kuvo, but also Zakkai, you run it up. Nik-Nak, it's weird, you like feel the warmth of light, but nothing gets brighter. But it's that feeling of like when you pet your hand in like a sunbeam, like, oh, there's clearly like light or warmth there. You feel that, but everything still remains dark. But the gardener kind of surveys the room, sees that ball of darkness, and starts crossing the room, and a massive like hand kind of like reaches down towards Kulo, and we'll pick up there next time.
Oh, God!
So it kind of worked.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless it goes for me.
Well, you're welcome.
well, he's going for him first. Yeah.
Oh god.
Maybe because Kuvo's stronger and it like maybe it can like detect.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Spits from him.
Maybe he's got something on him.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
He's probably got a lot of
Yeah.
powerful shit on him. Maybe he stole the fucking thing already.
Well,
Oh
fuck.
my god.
Oh my god.
It's a nail biter.
Yeah, for real.
We're only in the first room of this house.
We're gonna follow him and see. He's gonna bring us to where it is.
Exactly.
Bear trap.
Thank you guys for joining us here at Tales of Terragia. It is a wild ride, and join us next time to see what the hell happens with these guys here. And until then, don't look at any oversized houses on like Zillow or anything like that.
No.
You don't need that much space.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah,
need to.
yeah. It's
don't
too
need
hard
it.
to keep clean. It's too hard to keep clean.
It's a lot of house.
Yeah.
It's a lot of house.
Thanks, guys. Bye.